Right, hello everyone, welcome back to another walkthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition, my second attempt with the Dragon Age Keep Decisions. If you have not seen the previous videos that I would recommend you watch them before watching this one. Link below will be once I figure out how to record games of the PS3, Dragon Age Origins, and Dragon Age 2. And I need to make sure, when I do Dragon Age 2, I need to make sure Fenris dies. Because recently, I was playing Dragon Age 2 with a mage warden background, same romance as usual, with Liliana and the warden's female, but that's beside that. Somehow in that one, I got Fenris to stay with Hawk, because every time I play the game, when it comes to choosing to send it with the mages, Fenris always says, like, he doesn't want to fight for the mages and goes for the Templars. And then when you go to the gallows, I don't say the choice that makes you say, is it too much to fight with me one last time or something? I don't choose that, and so Fenris stays with the Templars, you fight him, and you kill him. But for some reason, on this one, I actually got him to actually stay with Hawk, where he says, I don't like it, but I'll fight with you. And I think it's because somehow, for some reason, in the warehouse where you meet that Templar, Karen, I think his name is? Karen, I don't remember, I keep forgetting the name. When you talk to him about the person they kidnapped, and it'd be Bethany, if Bethany is alive. If not, then the ones I usually got were either Varric or Isabella. It was one of those two I usually get. As I was saying again, in that warehouse in the corner, there's a chest, and I don't know if that chest was like a locked chest or not, but once I picked it up, it said it was the Sword of Mercy, and you give it to Fenris. And nearly every time I went there, I'm like, did I always see that chest there? And I'm like, if I did I never open it? Because once I gave him the sword, boom, straight away, that's what made him fight with Hawk. And I'm like, I really need to look at that again. And so when I play Dragon Age 2 again, I'm gonna do it exactly as I would and as I did on my first walkthrough. And if the chest is there, but without the need, but if it's locked, that means every time I've gone there, I never actually took Varric or Isabella, or mainly just Varric, because I use him to for the locked chest more, since he doesn't really change weapons, because he only has Bianca, whereas Sebastian and Isabella, you had to put points on their dexterity to make sure you get like more opt blades and bows. So yeah, I only use Varric for that one, so yeah, I'll have to look again when I play Dragon Age again to see if the chest is there and if it's locked or not. Because if it was never locked, then I don't understand how it was the first time that ever happened to me. Other than that, again, Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2 will be linked below once I figure out how to play games on the PS3. Also linked below would be my first walkthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition, which was without the Dragon Age Cube choices. And that was because I did not know anything about Dragon Age. I played Mass Effect, and then, because, they made BioWare, and they made Dragon Age, I thought, might as well just play Dragon Age, and now I'm into it. So obviously, when I first played, went into it with no knowledge whatsoever, nothing, and now here I am with knowledge and everything. Also linked below would be Dragon Age The Veilguard, even though I have no interest to play that game. I hope in a few years they completely reboot the game, restart it, add more characters, fix the damn story, add the Dragon Age Keep story to it, add DLC, make it more better to the point where the game can actually become the biggest game of the year here, literally. But and people remember too, when they announced the trailer, when the first trailer came out, it only came out a month later, a month before the game release, and you're like, if they're releasing the game trailer for a game that's fun, that people have been waiting for 10 years, that's gonna come a month later, That is not good. Because, you know, if you go to release a game trailer, a story trailer, or whatever, usually you wait longer than 1 month to play the game. But the fact they did it for 1 month for this one, you just knew it was going to be bad. But, you know, Dragon Age 4 and hopefully a rebooted version of it will be linked below. And as I said before, since this game was made by BioWare, other games made by BioWare will be linked below, such as the Mass Effect trilogy, Mass Effect Andromeda, and the next Mass Effect game coming out. Although that game, I heard, is in hot waters right now because of how badly the Veilguard went, and because supposedly BioWare fired so many people because of that. The next Mass Effect game is now in hot waters because of that. So who really knows who knows what's gonna happen from there? And I think at first, you know, like, no one really knew the story yet because, you know, that game has been in production for like the last few years or so. I think the first trailer came out like, when exactly did it come out? It was like 2020 or something. When did it come out? 4 years ago. 4 years ago, yeah. Yeah, so 4 years ago the trailer came out, yeah. But I think pretty soon it'd be 5 years. So 4 or 5 years now. And because of that, of what's going on, you know, people are not afraid, you know, thinking like, what's gonna happen now? But hopefully nothing bad happens. Hopefully. Or anyway, that's the Mass Effect games, and similar games to Dragon Age will also be linked below. And I'm talking about like the fantasy world, the mythological world of Dragon Age will be linked below. I am not gonna go into the specific details on those fantasy mythology world kind of games. I'm gonna say similar games like that will be linked below. And picking up where we left off, we have done the Emerald Graves place. And I know I said that after I do that, I go with the Here Lies the Abyss missions, but I don't know. It's like looking at it now, doing the Emerald Graves mission, and after, you know, they made so many hints to the Emprise De Lion and the Exalted Plains, it makes it feel like all three of these are like a part 1, part 2, and part 3 kind of thing. So what I pretty much decided from here on out, that we're gonna do all of these 3 first on a first go, just as we did with the last video. All of the locations around the Emprise De Lion and Exalted Plains are gonna be done on one go, and then once we're all done with that one video on each, that's when we start Here Lies the Abyss. And obviously, I know there's like now some side stuff you can do with some of the characters. It doesn't really matter for the memories of the Grey and this one, but for ones like, and even this one, the Saint Grip, but for ones like this one, and even this one too. Ooh, I'll have to look at the map again to see which one. That's because, you know, you got your personal stuff that you got to do for like Sarah and Cole and all them. So specifically the small ones where you don't have to do stuff like this, where you find artifacts and do all this crap, that could be done another time. But for, you know, like the actual personal side quests, like for as again I said, for Sarah, Cole, and eventually, you know, the Sandras, the Lilianas that come later on, they'll be done, you know, whenever we can. Alright, anyway, let's go.
How are the rescue efforts? Have they found anyone alive?
Excavation is slow, as you can imagine.
At your service. Let us begin.
To work?
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, I heard a tapping. My skills are required.
And you are?
Speaker Vios Anaxas. I have come from Navarra as a voice for the dead. Welcome them, and they will serve your cause.
You'd better clarify.
Of course. I know how this sounds to the uninitiated. I am of the Mortalitasi. We tend to those who have passed and revere their lives by honoring them in death. And when the living are threatened, we give the bodies of the dead physical purpose once more. Necromancy, Inquisitor. The dead will serve for you.
You're saying you can bring the dead back to life?
Of course not. The souls of our departed cross the Fade to be with the Maker. The body is left empty.
Then what is it that you do?
In the Grand Necropolis, we would usher in a displaced spirit of the Fade, eliminating imbalance. But this is war. Every battlefield has one thing in abundance: death. I turn the bodies of enemies into weapons against them. We do not manipulate the living. We make use of the dead.
What is a Mortalitasi?
We are the caretakers of the Grand Necropolis of Navarra. For the treasured relative, we usher a spirit of the Fade into the void of their mortal form. It honors them both. But when enemies threaten the living, we turn death into a weapon of war, instead of merely the result.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
It is not for everyone, yet we all reach beyond life. You have already killed many out of necessity. To stop at death is wasteful. Death can make allies of enemies. Death can rend the battlefield. Death can terrify.
People will fear me.
Don't you want to terrify? Fear means there are fewer to fight next time. Fear means lives are saved, if that is your concern.
I'm ready to learn what you know.
Then your journey begins as others end. The steps are small, but vital. There is instruction and veneration. Then you'll return. We shall see what this life holds for you.
Hello. Yes, hello. I am your trainer.
Yes?
I am your trainer.
You said that.
Good, because it has been a long journey. The cause is just, and if we don't start soon, you won't have time to learn. I am your trainer.
Thank you for coming to train me.
What? Oh, yes, of course. You're welcome. Thank you. I was charged with studying the breach and the subsequent rifts to discover how they affected traditional disciplines. I was enthralled. So were the 19 others, I presume. They're dead. They learnt the power, but couldn't wield it. Rift Mage Inquisitor. The forces are incredible. And with training, you will be incredible. I know how not to die, and I can teach it. It's incredible.
Who charged you with studying magic from the rifts?
The Mages Collective. I did not just say that. Yes, I did say it, and we're proud to help. We are nimble, we could move quickly and commit people to this rift magic. Many people. Their lives made it stable and safe. We're very proud.
The rifts were triggered by the breach. There's already a school of magic.
A school? No. Yes. Sort of. The holes in the veil flooded us with magic, and that can be used. It changed some rules, modified them, enough that the careless inverted themselves, old forces in new forms. Others will try, their results will vary, but you will have the best instruction. Because your trainer has already taken the risk. The price has been paid.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
You are the Inquisitor.
And?
You deserve power that casts your enemies aside with the abandon of a creative force, crushes them with your very will. That is the promise. Who better than you? You are the Inquisitor.
Very well. Show me how this should go.
It goes places you have been, and some you have not. That is necessary, so the price is not paid twice. Follow the instruction, and you will know the way. You'll understand the power. Then, I'll show you more. After all, I am your trainer.
Hold and declare, Inquisitor.
What do you mean?
I ask your intent. I was summoned to oversee training, and I would know my charge. I am your commander in this matter. Commander Helene.
Thank you for coming, Commander Helene.
Commander will suffice, recruit. I teach the skills of the Knight Enchanter. It is a rank. It is a life. Understanding its hierarchy is the first step. You already know this. You were not made Inquisitor and then taught to lead. I will teach you how to rise to your place, how to join your warriors, spectral blade in hand, how to command the ranks while standing beside them. Are you ready?
Commander is a title I associate with human forces.
Knight Enchanter has roots in Elven tradition, but it has utility in every tradition. There are no borders for the mage who wields a spectral blade. There is respect, and there is fear.
Who granted your rank? What forces have you served with?
I cannot say.
Then how do I know you're capable?
You know because I have told you, and I will teach you the same authority.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
I cannot. Only you know if you are fit to lead with more than maps. Do you have the mettle to raise a blade in grand melee? To have your presence make heroes of your charges? This is a path for leaders. You tell me if you are worthy.
I'm ready to learn what you know.
Then we will begin the simple steps, recruit. And we shall see what heights you reach. You have a task, a simple construction. Go, learn, and return. Soon you will lead from the front. Soon you will command.
We've a chance. A real one. Blessings upon us all.
We can't fight a god. Tell that thing's not God. He's done.
Are you all right, Leliana? Are you? I suppose not. Haven was trying.
Inquisitor,
Scout Harding.
we're on the outskirts of Sarnia. This is what's left of the town. The lucky ones got out before the river froze over. The rest, penned in by Fade Rifts and Red Templars. We're the first friendly face they've seen in a long, long while.
How did an entire river freeze so quickly?
It got really cold, really quickly. Sarnia relies on its river for everything. Trade, food. They weren't expecting this.
Do you know why the Red Templars have come here?
Can't tell you much. The Templars have outposts all through the hills. Our scouts haven't been able to get through. It probably has something to do with the local stone quarry, though. A lot of the workers went missing after the Red Templars moved in.
Here I come to save the day. Again.
That's why we love you. The Red Templars have been mounting frequent attacks. They want Emprise De Lion. Bad. Let's get out there and take it back from them.
I've news, sir.
What is it?
See for yourself, sir.
As if all the cold and snow wasn't gloomy enough.
Thank you, madame.
Oh, how could you have dropped it? Foolish, clumsy girl. Mama trusted the ring to you when she died. Now the Templars will get it, bad Templars. Demons with trusted faces. They'll find the small blue house, they'll find the ring. Stupid girl, how could you?
Hear my cry. Ah, the Inquisition.
That was generous of you.
I do what I can. I am partly to blame for all this. The Red Templars are here because, fool that I am, I sold them my family's quarry. They've taken every worker. We haven't seen them in weeks. And it's not enough. They keep coming, taking more people. And there's nothing I can do to stop them.
How could you have sold land to the Red Templars?
I didn't know. I swear by Andrastre's Spire, they look like knights, chevaliers. Such pretty speeches. They said they would reopen the quarry, bring employment and trade back to Sarnia. We'd been struggling since the war began. How could I refuse? It was good for a time. People went to work, they were paid. Then they stopped coming home. After that, the Red Templars stopped pretending.
What do you mean the Red Templars take workers?
People just disappear. First those who worked the quarry, then they took people from their homes. I don't know why. I just prayed they'd leave me and my family alone.
Sarnia wasn't prepared for this. This is one of the mages I spoke of.
You know, the Ben Hasrith are a lot like your Seekers, Cassandra.
I highly doubt that.
Maintaining justice in the ranks, operating under a veil of secrecy, investigating corruption and threats to the Order, and we deal with it all so quietly. Most people never notice.
Interesting. Though we do not break the minds of our prisoners.
Well, keep at it. You guys will get there.
More red lyrium. It spread far from the free marches. more red lyrium. Well, try not to touch it or anything.
This would be a good place to set up camp.
Snow's melting around the red lyrium.
I don't think we actually know what the heck this pyramid is. I think I thought at first this is kind of like the Easter egg for Mass Effect, for the Mass Effect game, where, you know, like they have the Prothean artifacts. So I thought at first this was maybe an Easter egg of that, but then we see it again in the DLC at the end of the game. So then, and it was like in a prison cell, we see it. So I don't actually know what the heck this thing even is, or maybe they might have mentioned what the heck this thing is, but I wasn't paying attention.
away from everything here.
Let's look around.
have seen a great deal of battle.
We all have?
Not all. Not like you. You live and breathe war. You understand it. It is home to you.
What's that supposed to mean?
I intended no offense. We have both seen terrible things. We have watched death and destruction render that which we love unrecognizable. It is calming to see something familiar in another.
About this outpost.
There's an elven artifact nearby. Excellent. The wards are functioning again.
How do you stand the Skyhold stables?
They're quiet. I like having time to myself.
I can't imagine finding quiet time in that stench.
They're only horses.
They're not horses. They're dung monsters with hooves and tails.
Decent place to camp.
Red lyrium. I wonder how far this corruption has spread. delirium. We should be cautious here.
Break the logs, please! They'll turn us into those things! The Red Templar lieutenants are in the quarry. This won't stop until they're dead.
Let's look around.
us out! Are all the cages open? You have to help us. They'll turn us into those things. Are all the cages open? Let us out! Have you looked everywhere? They took so many of us! the locks, please!
I found a letter from Samson himself.
Let us out! Break the locks, please! To help us. They'll turn us into those things. Have you freed everyone?
A note from Samson about spreading red lyrium.
Please, help me.
You don't seem well. What's wrong?
The red crystals, I can feel them at the tips of my fingers, beneath my nails, under my eyelids. I know what happens. I have a letter for my love. Would you place it in the hollow of the marked tree by the river? When he returns from the war, he'll know to look there. Let him hate me and move on.
You have to help us. They'll turn us into those things. You've saved us. We can all go home now.
More red
Did I hear this right? You met Corypheus before?
We didn't have tea and crumpets, Sparkler. I was there when he woke up.
And he said what? Hello, I'm one of the Magisters who broke into the Black City. Pleased to meet you.
That's more like... I'm a darkspawn. Dumont! Then Hawk killed him.
Not very well, it appears.
Tell me about it.
Nothing true. Of course.
Impressive.
I've arranged an accord between the Marquis and the Dowager.
Wonder of wonders. Perhaps they can be useful to us after all.
At your service.
All right.
Inquisitor.
Messer.
Let's look around.
Inquisitor.
Omega, hear my cry. The blackest nights steel my heart against the temptations of the wicked. Make me to rest in the warmest places.
Good day to you. You lied. You knew what the Red Templars were doing, but you took their gold and stayed silent.
Yes, I took their gold. Gold and any supplies they would give. All so we could live. There are many orphans in Sarnia. Who protected them when their parents were lost? We couldn't run, not with the river frozen and the demons. If I had said anything, they would have killed me too. So I let them take people, and prayed that one day, someone like you would come destroy them. All we could do was survive till that day. Now it's come, hasn't it? I was right.
A gamble? What if you had lost?
The thing about gambling, Inquisitor, is that occasionally, winning it all stops being the point. Instead, all that matters is winning enough to stay in the game. Those who died would have died regardless. This way, at least some survived.
I saw what those Templars did to the others. If you hadn't freed us, I might have been next.
I found your confession. You killed Lynette's brother.
No. It was an accident. He was going to take everything. You mustn't tell Lynette. Let her believe the war killed Guard.
He was alive. All this time he was alive. I didn't even dare. Oh. Goodbye. You will be in my thoughts and prayers.
Louis wrote this confession. He killed your brother.
No, that can't be. God is fighting in the war. He enlisted with the Empress's army. I'd like to be alone. Please leave.
Why did you have to tell her? We could have been happy.
Nothing to report, sir.
Mistress Poulin of Sarnia is accused of aiding and abetting the Red Templars in the Dales. She sold a quarry to them for a handsome sum. They used the quarry to grow red lyrium by enslaving townspeople. The only extenuating circumstance, Mistress Poulin was procuring supplies to keep the remaining townspeople fed.
If you'd like to explain your intentions, speak.
My crime was misjudgment. The land sale was meant to bring prosperity in hard times.
Yet you kept taking coin from the Red Templars, even after you realized what they'd done to the people.
Why not? It bought food for the ones remaining. Isn't that enough? You question whether greed or necessity led me. Tell me which you weigh me for.
Mistress Poulin, you will spend all your ill-earned money rebuilding the town of Sarnia. If the townspeople forgive you, your debt to them is paid.
Your worship, I will do my best to repair what I have done.
spiderwebs help stop the bleeding, and they prevent wounds from getting infected. Gather as many as you can. The strangest thing, though, I can't recall where I heard that. I think I remember a young man.
Consider it done.
How do you know they won't attack here?
Darkspawn don't They burst through stone cut with their bloody hands, and they never stop. That Corinthians, he's got the face, he's got the corruption, but he's no Darkspawn. He's a thinker. He ain't interested in a fair fight. So if we build it right, he's not coming.
You know? I believe you. Where did demons come from? Mages. Where did they
Yeah, I keep forgetting that in there, when you go inside the palace, you deal with so many giants, and regardless of your levels, they're so bloody hard to find, and so many of them. Oy. And then, you know, it's crossing the bridge with the dragons and the rest of the Templars, and there, I remember such a nightmare to fight through all that. Yeah, so obviously we won't be able to do much in the Emprise De Lion places anymore, so obviously in 2 weeks from one, no wait, that's actually, no, yeah, in 2 weeks, once we get back, we'll have to move to the Exalted Plains and see what we can do there and how far we can go to. Because there's obviously the bridge that we have to fix too, but once we do that, we have to go inside the palace there and deal with the burning laser or whatever the hell it was. And obviously once we're done with all that, that's when we move on to the Here Lies the Abyss mission. But maybe, you know, go back to the Hinterlands and do any last minute stuff just before we move on. So we'll stop here. We'll be back with this again in 2 weeks. And as always, leave a like and comments.